Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to talk to you about screen time. The things that we have done that don't work, things that we do that do work, and a little bit of in between. So hang tight and we'll get into it. Now before we start, I do want to just preface this video with saying, these are things that work and don't work for us. Every family is different. Every parent's opinions on screen time, all of those things are different. This is just our approach. These are things that work for us, and this is how we have kind of managed and worked around it. I say this because not everything is going to work for everyone. And these are just things that I want to share with you that maybe could help you if you're trying to reduce screen time or find ways to work it in or things like that. I just want to kind of start the video off letting you guys know this is just what happens to work. And it's really just in this season because we have tried things in the past and it's worked really well for a short amount of time. And then it just like completely nosedive, blow up, not working anymore. And so I've just kind of had to maneuver and change things as we go. So far, what I have kind of worked out here seems to be doing pretty good, at least for now. So it very well could change in the future. If that's the case, then of course I would update you guys. We don't necessarily feel that screens should be non-existent. I think that we can have a happy balance, but I think it takes a little bit of effort on my part to make sure that I am cultivating that happy balance and I'm kind of giving my daughter other options before putting her in front of a screen or allowing her to sit in front of a screen. I don't necessarily put her there anymore because she's old enough now that she'll just get up, you know? So yes, we are not 100% against screens, but I do think there needs to be a happy limit on it. And that's because for us, my daughter will put grumpy pants on really, really quick if she's had too much screen time. And that's kind of how we refer to it, just when we have bad attitudes or, you know, things like that, when we're not meshing well together, somebody has on grumpy pants. And obviously there are several things we do to get rid of our grumpy pants and put on happy pants, but screen time is definitely a big one. So things that didn't work for us. I tried the idea of if we just have it on in the background, then it doesn't become a thing. It's not a special thing. It's just always on. We don't really have to worry about the TV. And I will say this, screen time really for her is only TV. We don't have tablet or phone or any of that stuff for her. Again, she's only 5, so she doesn't have any of those things. The only screen time she really has is the TV, outside of, you know, the occasional doctor's office and we're watching a video or, you know, something like that. But 99% of the time, screen time for her is TV. So just putting that out there. But yeah, so I tried the whole, well, if we just have it on, then it's not a big deal. And then she, you know, it doesn't seem like this cool thing to do. Yeah, no. That quickly became overwhelming for me because it was just constant. There was always something. And I didn't really love that. Then things were coming on the TV that I didn't really want her to be hearing or listening to, even if it's just, you know, like commercials and things. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And it was just creating too much. And so we turned the TV off. And that actually was kind of the first thing that set me into motion of reducing screen time. Once I started to realize, like, this is creating it's a constant distraction to have the TV on all of the time. Because that's what happens. The moment there's a moment of silence and I'm like, okay, what's happening? The TV switches programs or whatever, and then my attention goes there. And yeah, it just served as a constant distraction. There was never a quiet moment for me or for my daughter. And so that was a big move at the very beginning. I mean, I'm talking when she was, a year old or under. I just decided the TV goes off. If we're not sitting down watching the TV, it's off. So that's kind of a thing that didn't work, but then worked, was just turning it off. The other thing that we have slowly done is TV subscriptions. We have gotten rid of Disney Plus. We've gotten rid of Netflix. Well, we never had Netflix, to be honest. Hulu, we don't have Hulu. Like all of those things, we don't have any of that. We don't have a television provider. We don't have like Dish Network or any of those kinds of things. We have none of that. Through the TV that we have, we can get local channels just on the TV. We get local channels, which we don't really even need, but it's there, so it's nice. And then we do have YouTube. There's the YouTube app is on there, and Amazon app is on there or something like that. And to be completely honest, I would be totally fine just not having it at all. Like, I just don't want any of the things. But there are some things on YouTube that we like to watch, like our church. If we don't go to church, it streams live on YouTube on Sundays. My husband likes to watch all the side-by-side four-wheeler races and all of that kind of stuff. So there are some things that we like. And then kind of the same thing with Amazon Prime or Amazon Prime TV or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. That's how much I don't watch it. Same thing on there. Like we'll get movies every once in a while, or a series of cartoons is free or something like that. And so it's on there. There's enough options for us. That's all we need. We don't pay for anything additional or extra. So. And then another thing that I tried that kind of worked but didn't was an allotted time for TV. So I would say, or after a specific goal or thing had been met that is in our day. So here's what I used to do. I would say, no TV time until after lunch. Okay, well, we're going to eat lunch every day, and it's going to be approximately the same time every day. So every day, say at noon, now she has free reign of TV with there's nothing that is going to help deter her. There's nothing else that's going on that's going to catch her interest, because the TV, she's going to want to watch the TV first. I mean, every once in a while there's something, but for the most part, it's like, oh no, I don't want to color that anymore. I want to watch TV because it's after lunch. Oh, I don't want to read that book anymore. I want to watch TV. So there was nothing to kind of deter her from that after lunch time. It was just like, okay, I mean, and I told you that all you had to do was wait till after lunch. And that was it. Like, I didn't tell you after lunch you get 30 minutes, or after lunch you get this, or make sure these things are completed prior to these. It was just like, okay, just wait till after lunch, because that was, I was figuring, okay, that's at least half of the day in the morning that I get her without the TV. That kind of worked, but not really. Because we still had the whole afternoon that I'm, was constantly pulling, like, no, okay, it's time to turn the TV off. We need to do something else. And again, just created more issues than what it was worth. So here are the things we are currently using and implementing that seem to be working really good for us so far. The first thing, if you guys watched my morning baskets video, I will link it up for you, but the wake up basket has definitely helped. We have our morning basket here for when we come into the classroom. And that's got like our Bible study and things like that in it, like a standard morning basket. But we also have what's called a wake up basket. And that is out in our living room. And it's just full of things that my daughter likes and enjoys. And it's things, quiet things that she can do in the morning. So she has activities that she can do that don't require screens. I'm going to be updating them so you guys will have a new video for fall type things. I am going to try and update them for the seasons. So if you want to check that, just make sure that you subscribe. That should be either next week or the week after. I don't remember exactly. So sorry. Anything in her room, but if she's going to play in the living room, then it needs to be something that's in the wake up basket. That has helped eliminate morning screen time, period. The TV does not come on at all, and it is so great because it is quiet, and I need a little quiet in the morning when I get up. So really the biggest change is what I'm going to show you here. And there are 1,000 different ways that you could do this and organize this and set it up. I tried something similar, more geared towards behavior than like chores and things to be accomplished and stuff like that. And that was I did like a token system. I heard a lot of really good things about it, but y'all, that was so stressful because I couldn't keep up. I had to make like this whole chart of things for me to try and figure out what thing went where and how many do I take away, and the severity of something depended on how many tokens I took and put in, and it got way too much. And part of those things was a punishment, or one of the things I would take away if she got under a certain amount of tokens or things was screen time. And it just got way too messy. But I like the idea of the responsibility being put on her to have to make some decisions and to have a little bit of control over what she does and when she gets things done, and then being rewarded for those things. Now, again, she is only 5, but I think now's a good time. She knows what she's supposed to do, and she knows how to do most of those things. And I put things here that I knew that we were going to be able to do together, as well as things that I know she knows how to do. And it'll make sense here in a minute, but this to me was just a lot easier to manage. It's visual, I can see it, she can see it, and it's very, very simple. So, and I will kind of let you know how I tied this into screen time, but really you can just use this across the board. And it's so simple and easy, and I feel like I'm probably way behind on this train because I feel like most people probably already do these things, but it's just a to-do list, okay? And Monday through Friday, I only include Monday through Friday. Saturdays and Sundays, Dad is usually home, and we usually are doing something. We're outside, we're going somewhere, we're doing something, so I don't count Saturdays and Sundays. So Monday through Friday, and then it's just a checklist of everything that I ask her to get done. So we have get dressed for the day. Yes, get dressed. That means change your clothes, get out of jammies, put on clothes for the day, brush your teeth, brush your hair, all of the things. So get dressed, finish our math lesson. So just finish it. Doesn't matter when it gets done. It just needs to be finished. Now, generally her and I are going to do it together, but if she wants to wait and do it later in the afternoon, that's fine. So finish math, finish gather round, 15 minutes of reading. This will increase as she gets older. I started with 15 minutes. That seems to be a good number for her. I really could and I'll probably bump it in 5-minute increments, but yeah, so 15 minutes of reading across the board. That means she has to actually be reading, not necessarily just looking at picture books. She can just look at picture books whenever she wants to, but she has to be reading out loud for 15 minutes. And to go with that, I have timers that I bought from Amazon, and I will set a timer for 15 minutes, and she knows that she must read for until the timer goes off. Timers are fantastic for all the things. So if you don't have timers, you should get them. That's another thing that I don't know why I waited so long. Anyway, so timers. So 15 minutes of reading, pick up and put away all toys. Same thing with that one. She knows how to do that. She knows what that means. And she can choose to do that whenever she wants to. And then 1 hour of quiet time or outside time. Now, that's because some days it's not feasible for us to be outside. Some days it truly is miserable and hot outside. And so she can have quiet time. Right now, she's really loving these like read along stories. And these are really, really nice for her. She's got like some Disney ones here. But so I'll put the CD in, and then she just reads along in the little book. She said she doesn't actually like to read it. She just likes to look at the pictures. Great. I don't care. This one is like a three movie one, and it's about 40 minutes. I just count that, unless sometimes she wants to put in another one, I'll let her listen to another one. But as long as it's somewhere close to an hour, that's fine. Now, there are days, if we've had an extended period of time where we've just been inside too much, or the weather is reasonable and, we can get outside, I encourage outside. We go outside, and we spend a lot of time outside. It's just sometimes it's just miserable, and sometimes we just don't want to. So I don't want to force one thing or the other. I want to give her a little bit of a choice. If she doesn't want to go outside, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 97 degrees at 100% humidity, I get it, girl. I get it. Go have some quiet time. And this afternoon when we go put the chickens away and do all that stuff, we will be outside for a little bit when it's cooled off. So that's kind of how I manage that. And yeah, so quiet time can be anything. She does like those read-alongs. Sometimes she'll do books. Sometimes she'll play Legos. Just kind of depends. Once all of these things have been completed for the day, so she goes through and she checks them off. Once everything has been completed for the day, then she gets to decide what she wants to do. And that's anything. That of course includes screen time, but it also includes things like going down to see one of her friends and play with her friends. That also includes going down to her grandparents' house and playing with puppies. Anything extra that she wants to do that's not already on the list, or something like just toys to play with in her room. If she wants to do, and you know what those things are for your kids, you know what those extra fun things they really enjoy are. Those are a couple of hers. And to be completely honest, this generally takes us until mid-afternoon, and then by that time, it's nice out. She wants to go outside and play. She wants to jump on the trampoline, and she rides her go-kart around for a little while, and then it's time to clean up for dinner. And so really all of this has helped basically get rid of screen time for the most part. If she completes everything and she wants to have screen time, that's fine. She gets 1 hour and then that's it. So if she gets everything, if we are done and we are ready to rock and roll at lunchtime at noon, and she wants screen time, fine. You get your 1 hour of screen time for today, and then you've got to go find other things to do. That has really helped by allowing her to have some responsibilities and giving her other things to do that don't involve screens, but also limiting her time. She knows that she has a 1 hour and that's it. And it has created the expectation. She knows what to expect, and she knows what's expected of her. And I think that was the big miss that we were having before, was things were just always shifting and moving, and one day it was one thing and one day it was another thing, and depended on how we felt and our attitudes and how I felt and all of that stuff. And once I sat down and really figured out what's most important, what are the things that I want to make sure every day that she gets done, and this is the list that I came up with. As she gets older, of course, I'll add more things or change things and stuff like that. But for right now, these are the things that I really want her to focus on and make sure that she's getting done every day. I am quite positive there will come a time where I don't need to remind her to get dressed and brush her hair and brush her teeth every day. But for now, I want to create that habit, obviously. And so that's on her to-do list. Overall, this could be used at any age for anything. You know, this is a great way to implement that. And then if she fills everything out for the entire week, then she gets something out of the treasure box. Now, let me just be honest here. I didn't fill the treasure box up really with anything because I didn't realize we were going to be using it. And yeah. So I've also included things like we'll go get lunch at Chick-fil-A, or like fun extra things that we get to do, or like when we go to the grocery store, she gets to pick out a new snack or something. Yeah, I've created something that I'm like, oh, you did so good this week. You filled out your entire to-do list, so you get to do this thing this week, and then it's a big deal. I want to get the treasure box kind of beefed up a little bit. Literally, I think there's like 5 things in there. Because I didn't really know that I was going to use it, and then I forgot that it was in there until a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, Mom, I filled everything out. I get to get something out of the treasure box. And I'm like, oh yeah, look at these really cool erasers. And so yeah, so I've got to fill up the treasure box. Another thing, I just made this real quick on Canva. They've got options out there that you can do this. You could write one. I just had it there, and Canva is free. So yeah, that's where this came from. And then this little sleeve was actually from the Target Dollar Spot. Oh, there's a little person. Yeah, so this came from Target Dollar Spot. I don't know if they'll have them anymore, but I'm quite sure you can get them on Amazon. I'll try and link it for you guys, or link some for you. And then I hang this in the classroom. She knows where it is, and she has access to the Expo marker. And so we just hang it up, and she knows to mark things off as we go. All right, that's it for today's video. If you guys use any of these things, or if maybe you have some questions on any of the stuff that I talked about today, please leave a comment below. I would be happy to explain further or answer any questions that you guys have. If you have anything that you really love, feel free to put those in the comments below. Maybe it will help someone else, or it could be something that I eventually will need to use. Of course, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.